Of all the 400-meter races ever run, only a select few meet the highest standard of optimal performance. These races challenge the long-standing beliefs about how the 400 meters should be run. However, because they are so few compared to the thousands of suboptimal races, many experts see them as exceptions rather than examples to follow. The key idea in this debate is the principle of even pacing, which suggests that a relaxed, smooth acceleration and consistent speed throughout the race allow athletes to achieve their absolute best times. In 1996, Michael Johnson ran a race that, while not perfectly even-paced, came remarkably close to the ideal. His performance can be used as a case study for understanding optimal pacing. On July 3rd, just 10 days after breaking the 200-meter world record at the U.S. Olympic trials, Johnson ran the 400 meters in Lausanne. Unexpectedly, he employed an unusual strategy, which could be described as an overly relaxed start to the race, running the first 100 meters in 11.4 seconds. As he came onto the back straight, he found himself in last place as his competitors sped ahead. However, he stayed calm and stuck to his race plan, reaching the 200-meter mark in 21.9 seconds. Then, as he entered the second curve, he shifted into overdrive, passing one competitor after another with an unprecedented 10.1-second split for the third 100 meters, the fastest ever. By the home stretch, he was in a commanding lead. But because of his sudden burst of speed, Johnson covered the last 100 meters in a relatively slow 11.6 seconds, crossing the line in 43.666 seconds. This remains the fastest 400-meter race ever run with negative splits. At the elite level, negative splits are generally avoided, as they are considered poor pacing for achieving the fastest times. However, 43.66 is far too fast to be dismissed as poorly paced. 30 years later, it still ranks as one of the top 25 performances of all time. Yet, Michael Johnson could have run even faster if he had not accelerated so aggressively on the second curve. To run a perfectly even-paced 43.66 seconds, an athlete would need to complete the first 100 meters in 11.4 seconds and then maintain a steady pace of 10.74 seconds for each of the remaining 100-meter segments. Johnson's performance was very close to this pattern. Well, at least closer than anyone else before or after him. If he had maintained a steady pace on the turn, he might have had much more energy left for the final straight. Unfortunately, his sudden surge cost him a much faster time. Still, running a perfectly even race might seem ridiculous and impossible to many. But history shows that breakthroughs often start with disbelief. For example, no one thought it was possible to run 800 meters with splits of 51 and 50 seconds until Marco Arop did it in 2024.
If somebody would have told me that I was going to run 51 and 50, I would have told them that's a complete lie. But to actually do it, now I know that it's possible.
In the Olympic final, even under the pressure of intense competition, his numbers came very close to perfectly even pacing. In an ideal race designed to break the world record with the help of wave-light technology showing an even pace, he is very likely to go much faster. 2024 showed that even pacing works perfectly in the 800, and there's no need to start absurdly fast to achieve super fast times. Similarly, for the 400, breaking 44 seconds takes just 22 seconds for the first 200 meters and 21.8 seconds to break 43.